Welcome back to Doing Football, Week 13 recap, getting you ready for Week 14. And the Lions are champions of a football game.
Let's go.
Their first win. Congratulations to the Lions. Thumb up for the Lions.
I'm not happy for them.
We've said that Dan Campbell was the perfect coach for this team because they just keep losing, but he, give inspiring words. Nobody could really hate them. But now maybe this is the time where it's a bad win. It's like when the Jets got their first win last year, and you were like, "Do you really want to win here? I don't think you do."
No, this win's definitely warranted a 5-year extension for Dan Campbell. I think they should definitely do that if they want to be a winning football franchise.
So when you see Jared Goff celebrate like that, I kind of had like mixed emotions on the whole thing.
You saw the video of his girlfriend. She was like doing you got to pull that
photo
up.
shoot.
Okay.
She was doing like a beach photo shoot. And they showed they had Jared Goff, the drive on a live stream. And she was in tears watching him score. It was actually electric. I got to be honest.
Way.
It was, dude, just look up Jared Goff girlfriend celebrate. It's on Twitter. Just go to Twitter.
Okay.
I didn't think she was crying.
She wasn't okay, it was very heartfelt, shall I say. I was on the Vikings spread before the game. I was also on them live at plus 240. I was quite bummed, and then I saw that after the game, and I was like, you know what? Jared Goff hasn't won a football game without Sean McVay in his whole career. Yeah. That's lots of emotion. I'm sure he's talking with her every week about that. I'm sure,
Holy
yes,
God,
and she's
damn
a
it,
rocket.
she's a rocket.
Yeah, she's a rocket. Look.
Is this it?
Yeah, this is it. She's so excited. It's quite electric. I was pretty taken back by it, to be honest.
Can you guys see that?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Only very slightly.
Yeah, watch. Do you think that's fake emotion? I
hope
you got to
not.
hear. I don't know if you could hear it full volume.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I don't think it's fake.
No, I mean she's a rocket. Let's.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean he's 0-16, but he's doing
Goff's
fine.
still a winner.
Goff's still a winner.
Off the field.
Trey
No need
Wingo.
to feel
Trey
bad for
Wingo
him.
had an all-time response. It was Goff's winning or something crazy, hilarious.
I saw someone
quote tweet.
You need to shut that off, or else he's going to keep playing.
My bad.
I saw a tweet from some guy I follow. He said he's living a top 3 life of all time.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He doesn't
made
have
so
to
much
win.
money.
He doesn't have to win football games. That's his girlfriend.
Yep.
My favorite part though is she's clearly in California, somewhere tropical. You saw the palm trees, right? Jared Goff's is in Detroit, Michigan, gritty. You think she
never
does
going to
not.
Detroit.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how much is he actually?
that.
Lots of FaceTime calls with the girlfriend
Well,
there, but
now she's dating a blue collar worker. She's not dating
Jared
a
Goff
Silicon
went from
Valley guy anymore.
Correct.
No, it's
correct.
true. You think about when you were in high school and you were all the girls want to be with the guy that is the dual sport athlete, wins a lot of football games, carries the team to an undefeated season on Friday nights. But at the end of the day, once you get to this level, it doesn't matter how good you are to the girl. It's just he plays in the NFL.
Yeah, he also got paid too, though. I'm not to say that's
he's got a
why
lot of
she's
money.
around, but he's got some money, and I mean she's supportive though. I love to see that. I was voting against the Lions. I hate the Lions, but good for them to get the win.
wins. They never beat the Packers.
I know they never beat the Packers.
Never even
The
a threat.
Vikings. I was doubled down on the Vikings, but besides that, love to see Jared Goff get a win. He clearly deserves it, and you could see how much it matters to him.
It was a disgusting sequence of defense for the Vikings too.
Oh my
they
God,
just played soft
Yeah.
the whole time, which is fine. Understandable, but they just paper cut them to death on that last drive. And what the fuck was Dantzler doing? He just wasn't
how was
covering.
it that wide open?
Ahmad Ra though.
It's obviously you're going to play. You're not going to play press coverage. You're going to play off, but you can't just keep backpedaling until he's in the end zone.
You're 5 yards deep in the end zone. The guy's just gonna sit down in this little zone that you're playing, and
It was way too easy. The other thing, though, we talked about this before on the show, Mike Zimmer.
A lot of Vikings fans want him gone.
I mean, they've been calling for it. A lot of people have all year, right? He was on you did a top 5 or someone most likely to get fired coaches. He was on it. He's skyrocketing up that list.
Yeah, there is. This has to be a tipping point of sorts, considering that they already escaped with a win last time these two teams played too.
Yeah, the Lions should have
nearly
won that
escaped
game,
again.
yeah.
So
The fact that they've lost this many close games is that's just part of it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do just what do we call it? The tank bowl, the race for the bottom, because I don't think there's a clear number one pick now that I've watched Aiden Hutchinson play the last few weeks. Him and Thibodeau kind of seem to be battling for the number one spot. So nobody's getting a generational quarterback talent or anything like that. But the Lions left. They have the Broncos, Cardinals, Falcons, Seahawks, and Packers. I don't really see. I see a chance to win against the Broncos and a chance to win against the Falcons. That's what I see from them.
Looking like it's going to be
0-5.
Maybe the Falcons for me. The Broncos are going to steamroll them, I think.
Yeah, the Jags have a pretty light schedule, if I'm being completely honest. I think they have a chance to win the next 3 games against the Titans
too.
Texans, Jets, Patriots, Colts to finish. And then Texans finish with Seahawks, Jags, Chargers, 49ers, Titans.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions for that number 1 pick for sure. Yeah. Looking at that.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Texans get it, though. If the Lions do squeak out a win, I think the Texans go 0-5. Their offense is just so bad.
Mm-hmm. Like going into these next few weeks, like, do you think like Dan Campbell wants to win games, but it's completely problematic if he's starting to win games now. Like if they're doing that, they should have done it earlier in the year. But I mean, the Texans could swipe that spot. I mean, you named a couple guys from college that might go number 1, but the Lions want that number 1 pick. Bottom line.
Yeah,
I don't think they really care for like.
You don't think they care?
There's nothing there that's like gonna blow you away. Sure, you could get Thibodeau or you could get Aiden Hutchinson, 1 or 2. How they turn out in the NFL, I think, is all up to how they develop. I don't think that's that crazy of a difference at this point in their in their careers.
We're not talking about. I don't think either one of them are like freak athletes at their position. Thibodeau is like really fast out on the edge, but he does kind of struggle physically on the edge. He likes to beat guys around the outside. Hutchinson's also very, very good, but he's nothing that like blows you away athletically. So I think people will be fine with either one. But I do think that the thing is with that Lions tie is if they do grab one more win, and all these teams have 2 wins, let's say, or maybe 3 by some miracle, then technically the Lions have the advantage over both these teams. So, but the Jags and Texans do play each other, so one of them is going to grab a 3rd win this year. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it on Lions side. Let me get to some of these stat lines for the week. I'm gonna be honest, this week kind of sucked.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on.
This is my least enjoyable week of football.
Yeah, there was one like 3 weeks ago that we were saying like these kind of type of weeks come, but this one was definitely a bit of a dud in terms of matchups. I would say the most.
What was the best 1 o'clock game? It was the Detroit Minnesota game. Like that was definitely the best one, and the rest were like Indy 31-0 blowout. There was some other like Tampa Bay beat
the Chargers Bengals game almost ended up being a big game, but then the Chargers pulled away at the end.
That was definitely of Sunday the one game people were most looking forward to, I would say, because that had real playoff implications between the 2 teams.
Yeah.
Then the Steelers Ravens game was also probably one people looked to. But then of course we're going to talk about Monday or about tonight's game when we're recording.
Yeah.
Bills Patriots. We'll talk about that at the end. But that's got to be the most exciting game of the week for sure. Yeah. Okay, get to the stat line. So this quarterback, I was really surprised to see this. This quarterback was pressured on 45% of his dropbacks and was sacked 7 times yesterday.
I remember seeing Justin Herbert getting sacked a lot, but I don't think it was him, was it?
Herbert was right behind him. I think he was sacked 6. No, that was Burrow that was sacked.
Burrow was sacked 6 times.
It was not either one of those 2 though.
Okay.
This quarterback is not one that is very easy to contain and actually bring to the ground.
Lamar?
Yeah. Lamar, 45% of dropbacks. It's
Steelers
7
defense.
Sacks. Who's getting 7 sacks on Lamar? I think are they not dealing with injuries? I know they're dealing with injuries everywhere because Marlon Humphrey's out as well now with the pec injury. Has Ronnie Stanley been playing? I don't think he has, right?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I love how I'm asking this question.
I know he had a bad injury last year, but I don't know if he's recovered from it or not. It might have been like a torn ACL or a torn Achilles or something last year.
Yeah.
Remainder of the season. Yeah.
When was this? Ankle surgery.
October 19th.
It's been a while.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
They've been playing without him. They're losing Humphrey. What do you guys think about them? We'll get into the playoff part, but what do you think of them going into the playoffs right now with all of these injuries that they've been dealing with? Like they're missing a lot of key pieces that aren't in those like big weapons category. Of course, they lost Dobbins and Edwards at the beginning of the year, but they haven't really lost their pass catchers. Where do you think the Ravens kind of fall in the playoff picture in the AFC?
Yeah, for me, I mean, you look at like a team like the Chiefs, they're the 4 seed right now. I'm looking at it in front of me here, but the Chiefs defense is like was the worst defense to like ever exist in NFL history at the beginning of the year, and now they're just turning it on. It looks amazing. It looks like a whole different year. So I see the Chiefs out of the Ravens. The Titans are a big one for me. I don't know what to expect with the Titans. I'm kind of up in the air on them. They're the 2 seed right now.
They're kind of like the Ravens. They have so many injuries.
Those two, like the 2 and 3 seeds, the Titans and the Ravens right now, I see moving down. I see the Bills going up, and I see the Chargers also going up a bit. So I don't know. The Ravens, I see them as like a wild card team personally.
So who wins their division? Like, you think the Bengals win their division?
Bengals are 7-5. I think the Bengals are a better team than the Baltimore Ravens right now. I'm going to take Cincinnati over Baltimore this year to win the division.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Their defense gives up a lot of explosive plays. They didn't really do it this past week, and Lamar's been struggling for a few weeks now. But I do think they still can hang on and win the division. They'll have another game against the Bengals, who they lost to, so a chance at some redemption.
I think it'll be a hard week with the Browns this week.
Yeah,
that'll be. I'd be surprised if they win that game.
The Browns are playing for their lives, I think, this coming week.
And you basically have 3 weeks to prepare for a football team. If they can't beat the Ravens this week, they should fucking.
They're at home too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a must win for the Browns.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'll get to the playoff picture in a little bit. So who had the most targets? I forget the answer to this. Damn it!
Running backs?
Is it Javonte?
Who had the most targets among running backs this week?
You wrote it down, but you forgot it.
It's been too long now. Give me a second. You guys think of the answer. Maybe I'll remember.
Just check Javonte.
No, it's not Javonte.
Really?
I know it's not Javonte.
Most receptions by a running back this week.
Most targets.
Most targets.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of any running backs that got targeted a lot. Who could this have been?
You guys won't get it. I forgot. I now know, and you guys won't get it.
It's not like Fournette. Fournette was up there, but
It's Josh Jacobs, actually.
Wow.
9
started
targets he
him
had
on
on the
the
week.
Wow.
I mean, Kenyon Drake is out with a broken ankle, so I'm not sure. I would assume, the Raiders do have games against the Chiefs and Chargers left. The Chargers have been pretty good against the run lately, but a real opportunity, I think, for Josh Jacobs fantasy-wise, if there are people that have him that are in playoff spots, he could end up being someone who has a really solid finish to the year, because he scored again this week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he had 2 touchdowns last week, right?
he had one last week against the football team.
Yeah.
But he had
The week before. Didn't he have 2 against the Cowboys?
Correct. No, only one.
Only one.
He had
Okay.
87 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown.
Okay.
But this week, he only had 38 receiving yards, but 9 receptions. So
Yeah.
that will get you in your PPR leagues there.
Yeah, Jacobs, I think, would be interesting the rest of the way.
Makes sense that he's getting this bump right as I trade my only share of him away.
What'd you get?
2 seconds in Dynasty.
Okay. I'm glad we didn't make that. Speaking of Dynasty, actually, this player, my last stat line, 5 of this player's receptions came on screens. And he had more than 8 receptions.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
I actually watched that. Yeah.
Tom was just force feeding him the football.
Yeah.
It was
Did he finish with 16 receptions or something?
15.
I actually should have
Team
known
record.
that right away when you said 5 screens. I should have known, Tom Brady. No question. I'm sleeping. It's Monday. It's
He's got a better average at the target than Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers this season.
Jared and I go back and forth every week on anti-Rodgers and Brady stats. So anyways, that's a good one though.
Yeah, he only had 20 yards on those screens, but again, it was just a situation where he was getting the ball a ton.
And Brady threw the ball over 50 times too.
Yeah.
I think he had 19 in the first quarter.
He was on pace for 80 attempts in the
Yeah.
game after 20. He had 20 in the first quarter,
Yeah,
which is
insane.
absurd. Yeah.
wild.
Anyways.
Okay, playoff picture. I'm going to pull up the graphic here. I want to cover both who we like, because in both the NFC and AFC, because I do think, holy crap, finding this mouse is just ridiculous. There it is. Because I do think both conferences are wide open. I'm always the guy that thinks about these things from a betting angle as opposed to just traditional, where things end at the end of the year. But there's really, really good value if you are someone who likes to bet on futures. I usually don't like to do it at the beginning of the year because I'm impatient as hell. This is why this time of the year, maybe near the end of the year, is when I start to find them. I've already hit the Packers, but it's wide open. Each conference, I think the Cardinals have a really good chance to win NFC. But I mean, the AFC is tied with 8 wins already with like 4 teams. And if the Bills win tonight, then that's 5 teams. So who do you think wins the AFC?
Kansas City Chiefs.
I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs too. They've just been playing so well lately.
I hate that you guys went the Chiefs because the defense is like completely different. We used to make jokes. I used to talk shit to Avery about how like the worst defense of all time, but
I turned off the games on the defense.
This is the thing.
I'm
though,
not
is
going to
that
pick the Chiefs.
The last
though.
few years, I feel like the Chiefs have always, had a rough start defensively and then figured it out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I always feel like I find watching Daniel Sorensen around playoff time, and I actually think he's a good player.
No, he's not. Dirty Dan. Everyone loves him because he's white and plays defense, but he's not good.
No, they were taught he played well yesterday.
No, he didn't.
You won't refuse to accept it?
Yeah. He's never played well.
He has.
Okay, didn't he have the pick
that?
on the Chargers in Mexico?
I don't remember that, but I remember the game against the Browns where whose head did he take off that didn't get called for targeting?
Was it
that fumble?
Peoples-Jones?
Yeah, maybe
or
it was.
Njoku?
I can't remember.
Might have been
God damn
Njoku.
it.
Didn't he take Njoku out for the year because of it?
Well, it was playoffs.
It was a playoff game last
But,
year.
Yeah, he hit the guy in the head. The ball fumbled through the end zone. It was a
touchback. God, who was that? It was a great play.
Sure.
Great
So
play.
maybe Dan Sorensen can make one good play in a game, but that's usually about.
I think you're wrong there, but I think he is playing. He does play better near the end of the year.
It just feels
the whole team does.
There
it
was
seems
like week 4 to 8. There was a picture every week of Tyrann Mathieu have his head, like hands on his head after Dan Sorensen let a guy go like 10 yards away from him for a touchdown. Like you just got beat on every single play.
If you got the offer of Kevin King for Daniel Sorensen right now, would you take it?
Yeah, 100%.
No, Avery, you don't want to wake up on Sunday just dreading the fact you have to watch Kevin King. I promise. It's horrible.
The way you feel about Kevin King is
the same way about you
Daniel
guys
Sorensen.
I'd have to relate, but I'm taking the Bills to win the AFC.
Yes,
I'm taking the Bills. The Bills are going to beat the Patriots tonight. I'm going to give out my
forgot
pick.
that they do have the Patriots and they have the Bucks next.
I haven't
week.
seen their
There's a
schedule.
hard
I probably
schedule.
should have looked at the schedule. I think the Bills win. They go to 8-4, right? I don't know where that would shake up. There's a lot of 8-4 teams, as you said. There'd be 5 if the Bills win tonight. Mm-hmm. I have to look at the schedule, but I would take a chance of the Bills' future to win the AFC. I like it.
I like that too.
I mean, the bye is just immense. Like the importance of the bye now that there's only one team getting it is significant. It's three games. It's a 25% difference in games played. You're playing 4 if you don't get the bye, 3 if you do. So
No, 3-2, isn't it?
Oh,
no,
3-2. Yeah. No, not including the Super Bowl.
The Bills have it. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the Bills, I don't know if you already said this, but the Bills play the Pats tonight, and then they play the Bucks next week.
Yeah.
The Panthers and the Patriots again.
Yep.
But the Falcons Jets to finish the year.
Falcons Jets.
They need to win tonight. Bottom line, need to win tonight. Panthers will
They
be
probably
a
also
W.
have to beat the Patriots again. They probably have to beat them both
That's what he
times.
said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, but they play them again. So I think they beat the Pats
Oh,
tonight.
you mean they have to beat them? You're saying?
Yeah, I think they have to beat the Patriots tonight.
No, are you saying
I'm
twice?
saying twice.
They play them twice. Yes.
He's saying they have
They
to
beat
beat them
them
twice.
twice.
Is what he's saying.
You're
I don't
saying
know
for
if
the-
they do.
What's
Yeah.
the Patriots schedule like?
I don't have it in front. I can pull it up. Give me 1 second.
Like unless they win every other game, because the Patriots do have one game on them right now, right?
The Patriots have one game against the Dolphins. I know that. I'm
Pa-
pretty sure their finish is tough.
The Patriots have the Bills tonight, the Colts next week, the Patriots or the Bills again, the Jaguars, and the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Jags,
not
Dolphins
too
finish.
Yeah,
They're very.
that's a tight one.
These two teams are really similar in their
Yeah.
finishes. Then
The Bills need to win tonight, though. I'm telling you, that will set the tone
Yeah.
for a run. Like if they're going to run the table, they got to win tonight. But I'm still going to take a chance on the Bills.
yeah,
to
and
win the AFC.
if the Bills win tonight, then the Patriots would have 5 losses to their 4, too,
Yeah.
which would give them a slight advantage there. Because if they go to, I don't know where that game is. Is their game against the Bucks at home or on the road?
Their game
Bills.
against the Bucks it's on the road.
It's on the road. So if they lose that game, then they're 8-5 with the Patriots
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
in terms of the division. Do you give a chance to anybody else? Like I know I like what Avery's saying about the Chiefs. I really do.
The Chiefs or the Bills would be the two I would actually look at seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Titans have too many
Chargers-
injuries. The Ravens have too many injuries. I don't think either of them get the number 1 seed.
My issue with the Chargers, you don't know what you're going to get. Like, I don't watch enough of them. You watch more than I do, obviously, T-Max. But every week, you're like, the beginning of the year, they were crushing it, and then they just went like a skid. And then they just
Broncos
beat
game
they beat
last
the
week.
brakes. Yeah, they beat the brakes off the Bengals. Like,
The Chargers are
man.
1-3 after a win and 4-1 after a loss. They just are back like they're just seesawing back and forth. And I haven't been happy after a game in a month because I was not happy after that game win against the Bengals in any way,
Really?
shape, or form.
Yeah.
Not
Just 'cause
happy.
they blew that
whatsoever.
massive lead.
Yeah. They were-
Blowing a 24-0 lead, and then that game against the Steelers was fucking embarrassing. Giving up that many points to Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers and blowing another lead, and actually had a chance to lose that game, and then they got demolished by the Broncos. That was a joke. So I've been happy about my team in a little while now. I like what you're saying about the Bills, but I think the Chiefs are probably the best play because I'm sure if we pull their schedule up, they're going to have the Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos left, plus 2 more teams. I don't know who they are. Have they played the Jags? I'm pretty sure they're supposed to play
I'll
the
look it
Jags.
up right now.
They haven't played the Jags.
Or the
this year.
Tech. They're due to play somebody from the South.
The Chiefs play the Raiders next week at home. They play the Chargers on the road the next week. They play the Steelers at home, and then the Bengals on the road, and then the Broncos on the road.
Chief Chargers on my birthday.
Chiefs Chargers,
Nice.
December 16th. Happy birthday, Avery.
Oh, Thursday. Chiefs
Yep,
Chargers is on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Little Thursday
next week.
action. Can't lose that one, huh, Eve?
No chance we lose that one.
Little team. That's gonna be a nice
Hey,
one.
they're
That'll be
on
a fun one, boys.
They're on the road, so that's
Yeah.
almost beneficial for them. The Chargers are terrible at home. Okay, before I go to NFC, let's just round things out with some of the playoff, like this playoff picture here. With the so the Bills, Chargers, Bengals are in those 3 wild card spots. Is there anyone on the bubble that you guys think will get in?
I think the
The
Colts
Indianapolis Colts. I was going to say, that team, man, they're playing so fucking good. They're playing great football. Frank Reich has got those boys hungry, and they're playing great football. I love them. Yeah, I said the team's on the bubble right now. I don't see the Steelers making a run.
No.
Not the Raiders for me. The Browns are a fucking mess, and the Broncos, no way. So, the Colts would be the only
What
one.
about the Dolphins?
6-0 in the last.
Too little, too late.
Are they 5-0 in the
They're-
last 5 or 6-0 in the last 6?
5-0.
6.
I think it's
No,
6.
because they're 6 and 7
they're
right
one
now,
and-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. They're on a bye this week, correct?
Yeah.
And then they have a pretty.
Finally.
Don't they have a winnable game the following week?
Yes, they play the Jets and then they play the Saints, but then I think they finish
tough, yeah.
Patriots, Bills.
Okay. That's going to be.
So they have to beat at least one of the Patriots or Bills.
I just need one more loss, Dolphins. One more loss to cash that ticket
would be the
we
worst
talked
beat
about
of all
last
No,
week.
they have the Dolphins have the Jets on the road, and then they have the Saints at home, then the Titans at home, and then the Patriots on the
Titans.
It's
road.
the Titans, not the
Titans,
Bills.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patriots at home on the road is not going to be fun.
Patriots always have issues in Miami.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah. They had issues at
That's a
home
road
against
game. I
Miami
think they're
this
on
year
the
too.
road.
I do tend
you're
to
right.
agree. The Colts. You weren't here, Sandy, but we talked about Frank Reich as a potential Coach of the Year candidate. If they had a couple more games go their way, and if they were 8-4 or 8-5, I guess they would be. If they're 8-5, 9-4 at this point, I think Frank Reich would be getting real conversation for it because, again, offense is just taking care of the ball really well. They're still playing good defense. They shut out the Texans this week, right?
Yep.
31-0.
Yep.
So, I think they got a good shot. But the Bengals, man. You have to start thinking differently about the Bengals from years past because they're actually playing pretty damn good defense. Like Trey Hendrickson there on the edge has played really well.
It's
I think
great
he's
addition.
I think he's on a streak of I can't remember. It's a certain amount of games with a sack. It's a lot of games. I wanted to say it was like 7, but he's been really really good, which has helped them a lot. So the Bengals are. I think the Bengals are going to be in and the Colts are going to be out just because the Colts I think have lost too many games that could have gone either way kind of deal.
Yeah, I feel like this year compared to previous years, there's so many teams that are in contention still this late in the season.
It helps when you've got 3 teams that have 2 wins or less, right?
Yeah.
Just sucky.
There's like 4 or 5 teams that are just near the bottom and out, and every other team still has a chance.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There was a way for the Lions also to make the playoffs still, I'm pretty sure.
Still?
Yeah, they
I
said
saw it
there was
on
a
Twitter.
tweet. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know what the stat was, but it was like a
Oh,
point.
it was
0.00.
outrageous.
Yeah, it was
the
crazy.
way it had to
Yeah.
work out, but
Because it's also not even, it's almost not just the fact that they're not winning, or all these teams are at the bottom losing like with 1 or 2 wins, but also the teams at the top are not separating themselves. Like nobody has, the Cards have the 1 game lead on the NFC, but it's really, otherwise there's tons of teams sitting 9-3, 8-4. Let's go to the NFC. What do you guys think about how things shake out here in terms of the Cardinals? I want to start with the Cardinals. I feel like, why don't people respect them? Why don't we respect them?
candy ass.
Why they can't?
I respect them. I was the first one in the office to say move them up. It was a while ago, but I'm not. I don't think it's hard to say they can't win. Like they're not going to win the NFC.
I think it's just general perception of them as a franchise. Is what
Yeah, just because we've seen the past few years they've been horrible. I mean, obviously last year they started to turn around a little bit, but then before that, when they had like Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray's rookie year, like they were just so bad from 2017 to 2019, around there. Like they were the worst team in the league, so everyone still thinks
they beat the Packers.
Are
in the
they even that
playoffs
good?
a couple years ago? But yeah, I mean, the Cardinals for me, they obviously have a chance. I think the Buccaneers and the Packers are the best teams in the NFC, though, in my opinion. If I just
see, you don't
Not the
fucking
Packers.
respect them.
I respect-
That's such bullshit. You say I
think
respect them,
in
and
a
then you go
football
the
game-
Packers and
here's where
Bucks
I'm
are
at.
better
Yeah,
than
Let
them.
me explain. In a football game with high stakes, as in, playoff game, I don't care if it's at Arizona or in Green Bay or whatever the team matchup is. I'm taking those two teams, the Packers and the Buccaneers, over the Cardinals in a playoff. All on the line, lay it on the line. I'm taking those two teams as my top two teams, no question.
And I think you're saying that just largely because of the experience of the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
correct?
it's just like the team though, like the Packers team. I don't have to go into too much depth, but they're the best defense they've had in a decade, better than even the Super Bowl team. And then the Buccaneers, we saw what they did last year and how they're playing this year. Tom Brady's leading the league in passing yards. I hate to say it, and touchdowns. Like they are firing. Like those two teams.
100%. Their defense is coming along too. I agree.
When it's all on the line, all chips on the table, I'm taking those two teams over the Cardinals. But that's not that I don't respect them. I just respect Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and the teams they have around them more than the Cardinals.
Let me ask you guys this. These three quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, how are you ranking them?
For real life, not fantasy.
Real life.
Kyler, Dak, and Lamar.
Yep. Who do you want? This is Super Bowl.
Lamar, Kyler, Dak.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Lamar, Dak, Kyler.
This is a problem, guys.
This is hard. I was going to put Lamar in my three.
Hard. I don't think it's hard at all. I think Kyler is the clear one in this group.
Really?
You're taking like
he can throw the ball probably at the exact same. No, I'd say he can throw the ball better than both of those quarterbacks, and he is arguably, like in terms of, Lamar is probably better, more willing to, go hat on hat or take a significant hit in the run game. But I mean, Kyler's doing all the types of things Lamar does in terms of scrambling ability, picking up yards and plays that are kind of just completely broken down. Yeah. There's not a lot of design stuff for Kyler, but I mean, I don't know how he's not the one of that group for you guys. Easy.
Kyler's not throwing 4 interceptions in a game either.
Lamar
just did that. You would never see that with Kyler. You would never see that. I'm taking Kyler, Dak, Lamar. That's my top 3.
I'm probably
Dak and Kyler are close for me. I think Dak's probably could be my number 1 too. But
really?
Lamar's my 3. I'm a big Dak guy. I am.
I like all 3 of these guys. I think it's
so hard.
It's a great question though.
I think it's Kyler, Lamar, and then Dak. But that's my personal opinion. You said, what did you say, Avery? You said Lamar, Kyler, Dak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
variation. That was a good question. Yeah. So we're all over there. T-Mac. Bravo on the fly there.
I think the Cardinals are putting together the type of players at skill positions that the Bucs are, and they're playing really good defense. Like if you like the stats and numbers from Football Outsiders, their DVOA has the Cardinals very, very high defensively. So I think the Cardinals deserve a lot of respect, and they have a stretch here. Their last 5 games. I was actually talking about this in a group chat with some of my buddies. I want to pull this up. Their remaining schedule.
I'm with you though on the Cardinals. I think they're a better team than the Packers. I think they could.
I'm happy I could hear that through the earphones, Drewski.
I think the Bucs are the best team, and the Cardinals are the second best team.
You think let's just play this scenario. They go to Lambeau. You think?
What if they go to Arizona?
Rodgers horrible in Arizona historically. So.
Exactly.
I think there's no chance. We're going to get Jair Alexander back. We're going to get Zadarius Smith. We're missing arguably the best corner in football, if not top 3 corner in the NFL. And we have Rasul Douglas, who we claim from Arizona, who's just become one of the best corners on our team in the last 5 years. Like, this defense is different. I think the Packers would run over the Cardinals. But
sounds like you read my blog. Rams. Okay, here's their finish: Rams, Lions, Colts, Cowboys, Cardinals, Seahawks. If this team goes 4-1 in this finish, okay, like the Lions are their gimme win in this group here.
That's a tough schedule though.
If they go 4-1,
it's not easy.
If they go 4-1, you have to respect them as the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
If they beat the Rams in a game that pretty much would wrap up the division for them, arguably, right? If they beat the Rams here, I mean, they'd have to have a horrible finish to not win the division in that case. And then they go into Dallas and win in the second last week of the season. That would be the type of game that might even clinch them first place in the NFC too.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. They better go 4-1 because the Packers have the easiest remaining schedule of the season. I don't want to say knock on wood. It's a lot easier than that. I'll just leave it at that. They have the Bears, the Ravens, the Browns, the Vikings, and the Lions. That's the Packers remaining.
Count up how many of those games are at home.
Packers are at home against the Bears next week, on the road against the Ravens, at home against the Browns, at home against the Vikings, on the road against the Lions.
And their most recent game was
their 3 home games are against the 3 hardest opponents.
No, the Ravens are on the road.
Yeah, the Ravens are on the road. The Ravens are on the road. That's going to be a big one. The hardest, but go back to the Cardinals now. The most impressive win for me here, if they go 4-1, the most impressive win on this would be beating the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. That one for sure. And I think they win if they go 4-1 there. I think they have like the Packers. I'm not saying they're going to win out. I definitely am not. There's still some tough games here. I think if they go 4-1, the Cardinals are going to win the NFC.
Yeah,
I think so.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much statistically correct, right? No, the Packers have the tiebreaker, so if they tie,
Yeah, if
we
they
get
tied.
the one.
Packers would need to win out though in that scenario.
Yes, they would.
Who do you guys think wins the NFC?
The Bucks. I don't think anybody can just beat the Bucks with that team and Brady.
Pretty easy.
Wait, I'm saying regular season. I'm not saying.
Oh,
yeah. Just
I thought it was like
who's
to come out of the NFC.
Who's getting the bye?
No.
Yeah, who's getting the bye?
Oh,
I'll go Cards.
I think the Packers probably take it.
I'm taking the Packers too.
They're still going to lose in the playoffs though, because Aaron Rodgers can't win a playoff game.
No, he can't win an
NFC championship game.
I'm going to take. I've bet the Packers to win the Super Bowl because I think they're going to win the NFC, but I'm going to say the Cardinals because I'm going to respect the Cardinals because I respect the Cardinals.
You want that on air?
Yeah.
You need to get that on air.
Sandy, I got to listen to Sandy say it and get that clip of him going. I respect him, and then he says that he thinks the
the Packers. I do. I think the
Bucks are better.
High stakes. I definitely think that. Yes.
Okay, so we're wrapping out the playoff stuff with the who do you guys think are going to finish or make the playoffs? We got the Rams football team and 49ers currently in the last 3 wild card spots. We got the Eagles, Vikings, Panthers sitting outside. I mean, we're counting out the Saints at this point, correct?
Yeah, they suck.
I gave out the Saints as 3 weeks ago, so the Saints are going to get in the wild card spot and not looking too good there.
I always want to look at. I feel like I always want to look at this after every single week, but I have to remember. I remember let's not do this too much.
I vividly remember we did this exact exercise 3 weeks ago.
Yes,
and I remember saying the Saints, so I'll wear that one.
Rams football team, 49ers are in. Do you think anyone gets in here? Do the Eagles have a chance? That Vikings loss is kind of backbreaking for them.
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to the football team and the Eagles for that spot, and they still play each other twice.
Agreed. Yes.
So that's what's going to decide it. If either of those two teams can win both those matchups, they're in. Otherwise,
the Eagles are the only team on the bubble that I think is even worthy of talking about right now. Like Carolina,
so many of them
just
have
a
fallen
fucking mess. Like the Vikings, disgusting what they did yesterday, and the Falcons. No one's putting the Falcons in the top 7 there.
No,
yeah. So
that might be the worst 5-7 team I've ever seen in my entire
completely.
life.
It's actually I'm shocked there. Didn't even know they're 5-7, but that's embarrassing. Anyways, I like the Eagles. I think, it's going to come down to who wins the Washington Eagles. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. 2 games left. Washington's been playing hot, playing well, beat the Bucks. Who'd they beat this week?
Oh, they beat the Raiders. Beat the Raiders on the road.
Are kind of in shambles, but yeah.
What do you think, Gabe?
I don't want to be square, but it seems like that's the right answer there.
I do think it might be a bad matchup for the Eagles going against Washington because Washington's been pretty good against the
that's who's going to go up again.
Their defense has gotten
Washington
better. Washington had a terrible start of the year. It's similar to the Bucks had a bad start too, but they all figured they're all been.
They lost Chase Young for the year too.
Yeah,
yes,
out for the year.
Loss.
Yep.
I'm gonna say football team just because I think I like how they match up against the Eagles. That'd be the only reason why. But I'll
Gardner Minshew Eagles or the Jalen Hurts Eagles.
Jalen Hurts Eagles. Yeah. Gardner Minshew and Eagles throws it all over the football team. I do think that Washington though, or the Eagles definitely have a better chance of winning playoff games. The football team I don't think wins a single game. I think the Eagles could win a game and maybe even make a little bit of noise in the playoffs.
What do we think the odds are of the 49ers? Because if you look at the remaining 5 games, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Tennessee, Houston, Rams. 3 kind of difficult matchups.
The first and the last are definitely tough.
There's 2 easy ones, 3 difficult ones, but also
and all their 3 difficult ones are on the road.
Ones. Okay. I was going to say I could see
Cincinnati on the road, Tennessee on the road, Rams on the road.
I know they have no chance, but just with the division.
You're going to say Seahawks.
Exactly. I know. I didn't say they're going to make it, but I'm saying the Seahawks are going to be pests. Like the 49ers, they're going to want to beat the brakes off of them, so they don't get in the playoffs. Like I could see the Seahawks winning some games that affect this playoff picture.
Yeah.
Haven't they played twice already now?
No, they play the Seahawks next week. The 49ers.
No, they just played them.
They just played
them. Did the Seahawks play the 49ers with Geno? They might have. All right. Are we all kind of in on this though? We're all thinking there's nobody else really but that battle between Washington and the Eagles. We think
the Seahawks are done. They don't play the 49ers.
Scroll down to the bubble here.
I mean, there's not much.
Yeah.
Vikings. Yeah, like a lot of these teams are just frauds. The Panthers suck.
Yeah.
Falcons suck. Saints suck.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else is making a run. Okay, let's move on to what I had next. And then, Big Ben Avery, your thoughts on Big Ben announcing that this is going to be his last season? Sorry, I didn't formally announce.
Yeah,
rumblings of this being his last season.
Don't shoot him before he's dead. I'm sad, obviously.
Why are you sad?
Because Big Ben's a legend. Like, when we get away, like, we grew up with these quarterbacks.
Right.
Yes.
Which is the issue, which is, like, I guess Eli was kind of one of the first to go. Peyton's gone.
Phil
Rivers. Big Ben. He's going to, like, it's just the quarterback play from what we've seen of, like, mid-tier guys when we grew up compared to what we get now is so different. Like, people just are way shittier at quarterback recently than they have been in years past. I don't know what it is about that, but people like Big Ben would go first overall, like, nowadays, and he'd be shit probably. They just end up being shitty. So I'm sad that the good quarterbacks are leaving.
Big Ben would not be going in the first round. He played in the MAC. He played at Central.
Doesn't fucking matter. Who else? Like, Daniel Jones played at Duke. He was shit.
Well, no, he had Cutcliffe. Cutcliffe was a QB whisperer.
Whatever, he sucked too.
Okay, so what I wanted to do, Avery, for you, for everybody here is, like you said, we grew up with this guy.
Yeah.
I think we're forgetting what he was made of, right? Because he is a lost soul out on the football field these days. Completely
dead man
lost.
walking.
Yeah, dead man walking 100%. I just looked this up this morning. I need some top 10 plays for Big Ben. And look, I got to show the squad
screen,
this.
yeah, please.
Because there are some great moments, and we're forgetting that, like,
Yeah,
this
the
guy,
Big Ben.
his legs could move a little bit before.
Wasn't
they
a
certainly
good
weren't
person,
fast.
though.
But we don't need to
We're
talk about that.
Avery.
Just want to preface that.
Look, just check it. Come on.
against
Look at
Chiefs.
him.
Oh,
Come on. I mean,
look
no.
at that.
I mean, that was probably
The fact that it made the top 10 isn't.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be
was
surprised
actually kind
if
of
he did that
surprised. I
last
thought he was
year.
like truck someone or something. To be honest,
That's
He's
still a good
bigger
play.
than the lineman.
Yeah, he's huge. He's so massive in that play.
Are they just going to show only Chiefs fucking highlights?
nice little dodge there. Okay, I guess that one
dime. That
was
was
decent.
pretty.
Is
That
that,
was
are these really top 10 though?
Okay, the thing is when you're a
Okay,
quarterback.
the throw. I know it's going to be on here. It's got to be number one. The
That was-
Santonio Holmes.
Oh, it's number one.
That's
It's
one.
number
I mean,
one.
That's like a top 10 play in NFL history.
yeah,
arguably.
we're waiting for that one to come
Yeah,
up because
sorry,
I
Just
miss
had
that
to
old
preface
CBS
it.
score bug, though.
like,
Fuck,
look,
that's nice.
my guy's leg, like my legs could move. His legs could move. He could make.
Oh my
plays.
god, this is all time actually. Yeah, I mean, dude, Big Ben was a problem. I remember watching this guy.
The
like,
problem is that he's still playing like that.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his
Trying
body,
to, yeah,
with his
with his
body
body that
how
just
it is
doesn't-
now. Look, watch this. He stiffies this guy off and throws it away.
that's
A throwaway
Top 10.
makes
But that's
the top
his-
10.
That's the epitome of his game, though. Like that,
Oh,
they had
yeah.
to throw that in there. Like, who else is doing that? I don't really know. Not many people. That guy's a body. Like he's just always has been a
Oh
body.
my god.
I got a debate with the guy who made this video, though. I guarantee there's
This is
10
recent.
better
Look at that ball.
plays.
Look at that ball.
AB.
Drops it in. Oh my
Oh,
god.
this
That was a
celebration.
bad sell.
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever made this video.
Yeah, everyone.
God
it's funny
damn it,
how
what
he
a ball.
pump fakes like 30 times
Yeah.
a play. And he still does that too. It's funny. It just doesn't work out the
It's
same.
so slow even then, but now it's just so much worse. Look at him running the D lineman.
Yeah, you would just
There
like
we
never.
go.
That's a dime.
Dime.
You would just like never
we
see
go.
that now, though. He would try to do that, and it would be a to
30
the
yards
safety.
shorter
Yeah,
than
safety
that.
would
Oh,
intercept.
yeah,
AB would
so
never
like
been
thrown.
a first
I mean, that was
wide
just
receiver.
that was a
if he didn't
dime.
have
That
Big
was
Ben.
a dime.
Oh, I remember this
Signature
play.
yeah,
Big Ben
iconic,
moment there.
yeah, iconic.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Shades
Look at
of
that,
Dan
40
Marino.
seconds left.
Shades of Dan Marino.
Unreal.
I can't believe some of these plays made the top 10 though. Like the
That's
I
a
mean,
sick
when
play,
you're
though. I
when
love
you're a
that play.
quarterback, it's tough to like unless you're
Yeah.
really elusive like a Lamar Jackson.
you
Every
scramble,
play
yeah.
you make is a scramble throw. That's your top 10. This one, look
Oh,
against
fuck,
the Packers,
yeah,
no
yeah,
time
yeah.
left.
But win the
Defense,
game.
good old, the
Look
good
at
old
this
defense.
dime
Brady's
game.
defense would never, bro. Brady's defense would never let up 37 points in a game. Never.
Look at this
Look at that.
dime.
Who's that corner? I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Is it Martavis Bryant?
man. What a ball. I don't know. I look too old to be.
It's
Martavis
got it.
Bryant.
It starts on
Oh,
Super
look at
Bowl.
that score bug.
Here's
Oh.
the greatest one of Ben's greatest plays. The second best play of his career.
Gritty.
It's a fucking,
Where is he?
I remember
It's
the
a fucking tackle.
Oh,
Got him.
clutch.
Big. That was a huge tackle too.
Yeah. Unreal. I love
AFC
Big Ben,
champion.
man.
AFC championship.
Again,
yeah.
we just forget what kind of guy he was to us. And
This
here
is-
it
I mean,
is.
the Santonio,
the
yeah.
greatest
Gotta
play.
be.
This is
look
one
at
of the
that
greatest
camera
throws I've
angle.
ever seen. Ever seen. Like,
Just
look
all
at the
time.
layering
Holy
on that
fuck.
throw. Only he can catch it in the Super Bowl with 20 seconds left.
Absolutely insane. That's a
Look
top
at
10.
that.
That is easily a top 10 NFL play of all time. I'll go there.
Just
I'll
gonna
go
say
there.
that.
I'll go
Yes.
there.
Was just gonna
Just
say that.
rewatching it. It's been a while, so
Yeah, that was incredible. Like, look, we just forget We grew up with him.
I don't forget.
We're getting older.
I think it's time. Like, you got to just know, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what
It's
he
time.
knows. I don't think he's arrogant. I think he knows. But man, he's been doing it. What is this? His 19th year? What is it? Or is it longer than that?
It's got to be getting there.
Yeah, it's probably right around that.
19th,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably right.
He's
How many
been
guys
doing
are
it.
even left from that era? Brady, Rodgers, if you even count Rodgers in that era. He was 2007.
when he started?
Yeah. Is there anyone else like up there? Because a lot of them are gone now.
When was Ben's first year in the league?
I think 2004, 2003.
So a couple years after Brady. Yeah. God, fucking Brady, man. I hate that guy.
Love that
Still
guy.
doing it. Yeah, fuck. You got to tip the cap some point. You know what I mean?
Game, respect, game.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, we're going a lot longer than I thought we would. So we'll do this quickly. But I wanted to do a redraft of the top 10 from this year. So
Oh shit.
Okay.
I want to.
I wasn't ready
hear
for this,
from you
but I
guys.
like it.
So where would we start? Would we keep Trevor Lawrence at 1?
That's so tough.
It's tough because that fucking Jaguars, they've Urban Meyer, the whole shit he went through. That team's a mess.
I think
and
this is a good place to start. I do think Trevor Lawrence stays there, but do you have a different thought on the fact you haven't seen a lot of progression from Trevor Lawrence but you still have hope, as opposed to we haven't seen good progression from Zach Wilson, and do you not have hope for him?
The only reason we have hope for Trevor Lawrence is we have to say his team sucks around him.
yeah.
Right?
I think no matter who went there,
Both
they
of them
suck.
Let me rephrase.
I think Mac Jones goes there, he sucks.
That's what I'm saying. This is the next question. If Trevor Lawrence goes to New England,
He's a lot better.
obviously. But I'm saying, like, Mac Jones
That
goes
system.
to the Jaguars, he's
shit.
He probably wouldn't even start the whole year there.
We'd probably be talking about how, the new age NFL, that type of
exactly.
quarterbacks that aren't mobile whatsoever can't be successful, blah, 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 blah.
But there's at some point, like the Zach Wilson thing for me is a big one. He's moving down my board, even though I think
I agree.
he's moving down.
Mac Jones at 2.
I'm not
The
saying.
only reason
I'm just
Zach
saying
Wilson
he's moving
got
down.
drafted by the Jets because his uncle, right, JetBlue,
Yeah.
sponsor of the team.
I don't even know that.
I don't know.
I think he got drafted number 2 because of one throw that he made that wasn't in a game.
That was an awesome throw, though. To be fair, that
Okay.
was fucking
Are you moving
sick.
Jamar Chase up from 5?
Can we?
I think I would take Chase
your
over Pitts.
Hindsight 2020, like you might think about it if you're the Falcons.
Well,
but-
if you knew what was going to happen to Ridley, you probably
that's
would
what
have
I
done
mean.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Foreshadowing.
would still go. Are we agreement? Trevor Lawrence would still be 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay, I think there's an argument for Zach Wilson to move back, and Mac Jones to be number 2.
Yeah. I think it's hard with these quarterbacks, though, because we haven't seen that much from a lot of them. Like Trey Lance, we haven't seen anything from him. So what do we do with him? The 49ers
Trey
still
Lance
take
feels
him?
like he could be the second best of this class just because we haven't seen him so far.
Right. I was going to say that Trey Lance could probably stay in this exact spot.
Yeah.
No, you know who needs to move up? I'm a little
Micah
ahead of you
Parsons.
guys. God damn you, Jared.
Yeah,
You're
Micah
like, that
Parsons.
guy, he's fucking
Micah
so good.
Parsons.
Micah Parsons, yeah.
Micah?
Come on,
You're all in my head today, aren't
Yeah.
you?
This
Couple
is
times
He's
already
so you remember when Derwin James in his first year, and he moved up and played like linebacker when they played the Ravens in the playoffs.
You'll remember
and
that,
they
I
dominated
will.
and they dominated
no
that
one
game.
fucking remembers.
But
it.
people, fuck you. People remember that. But Micah Parsons is the type of player that you draft him at one position, but he can play a million others, and that's like the value that provides
an
is
athlete.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do agree that he would arguably, like if you're the Jets, I guess I wouldn't say like pass on quarterback completely because you need somebody to play this year. But yeah, Parsons would be interesting, like all the way up to like the Falcons. Like would the Falcons reevaluate taking a guy like Pitts at 4?
I think so. I think they should take Chase over him at least. If they want to go defense,
Well,
Parsons too.
I won't allow us to do it like that with the thought that I don't
Calvin
want to
Ridley,
think
I
that
can
Calvin
see-
Ridley's
yeah.
not on the team. I
I
would
think
want to
even
say
with
that
Calvin Ridley, they had Ridley and Julio. Why not go Ridley and Chase?
because their
Or
whole
Ridley
team,
and Waddle.
because their whole team sucks. Why, I don't know why we would be. This was the original thought I had about the Falcons: is why are we addressing a position like tight end when the entire roster has problems?
Do you think they go Parsons then?
I think they should go deep.
I think Parsons
defense.
is the top.
I mean,
yeah.
he hasn't even just been the defensive rookie of the year. He's a chance for defensive player of the year. He might be an outside
Imagine,
chance,
like, yeah, I was
but
gonna-
he
imagine-
actually could win it.
I don't think they have.
imagine-
defensive. You think?
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I think he deserves it over Trayvon Diggs.
We all know how I
Yeah.
think about Trevon Diggs. I don't think I think his numbers are inflated with the interceptions.
Now, the sample size for Trey Lance obviously is not enough. So I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be 3, but I'm saying imagine a guy like Micah Parsons going to San Francisco, him and Bosa,
Dude, imagine if Mac Jones was at with
or
the
Mac
49ers
Jones.
too.
Yeah, Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones. You stick him there. That's a great system. They were talking about how much Shanahan loved him too, the whole pre-draft process. So.
The thought was that the management wanted him out of it. They wanted Lance because they just saw more upside.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I were to redo this, I would be fine with the Niners taking Lance again. I
Yeah,
think they
that's
probably
what I
would
said.
do
I
it
didn't
again.
I didn't say move him back. I
Yeah.
just said if, like, just imagine. I mean, you could do that with any of these teams, but I think that would be a good scenario as well. But I wouldn't move Lance. I'd keep him there.
So I know how good Jamar Chase is, and I know how good he's been. I still think that like Rashawn Slater, Penei Sewell should have been taken earlier by pretty much any of these teams. Like I think that I think a lot of teams would find success focusing on the trenches, especially offensively, to protect their quarterbacks, as opposed to like spending this high of draft capital on the wide receiver position or pass catchers just in general.
You look at
I agree.
the top 10 receivers. As of last week, I'm pretty sure only 2 of them were first-round picks.
Yeah.
So,
What do you mean in terms of
You
top
think-
10?
Top 10 fantasy
Fantasy.
wide receivers, I think 2 or 3 of them were first-round picks.
And
Same
to
with
have
running back.
to have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Auden Tate as your 3 wide receivers is an above average group.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Yeah, I agree. I thought during the draft process, I thought that it would be silly for them to take Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase is great. They
And their
definitely
O-line-
don't regret it. And
Their O-line is held up, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was the biggest thing.
It was
like
those-
they need O-line.
It was those
drafting
pictures
Jamar
of,
Chase.
like, throw it to Jamar Chase, but Joe Burrow's still getting.
laying on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't throw it to him if he doesn't have the time to do it. I think the Dolphins, they've had some offensive line problems. They've been better lately, but I think they are like I think they also are thinking about Deshaun Watson for a little bit, so maybe they don't think about it this way. But the Tua Waddle thing, they're probably happy that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where
they
went.
need help at wide receiver. All of them are either banged up or just shit.
And then
Who's even in that group? Is Kenny still in?
Will Fuller hasn't played. Devontae Parker is in and out of the lineup.
Mac Hollins.
What's the other guy's name? 87, Ford.
Yeah, Isaiah Ford.
Yeah.
For now the Lions, I think they're happy doing what they did. You could argue taking Rashawn Slater instead of him because Slater's been better this year.
Well, if we had put a tackle up where the Bengals were,
then
if Jamar Chase is available, I think
If
the
you're the
Lions
Lions?
100% take him.
yeah, because they aren't bad up front in their front four.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good call. Yeah, I like that. Taking a guy like Chase, or I think if the Dolphins had Chase there, you think they would take Chase instead of Waddle, correct?
Yeah, you'd assume so.
So then Waddle would maybe be in this Lions consideration. I don't know what kind of season he would have if he was playing for the Lions, though.
Yeah, kind of hard to tell with Jared Goff. Although Mon Ra starting to turn it on a little bit.
Oh, yeah. 4th round pick, baby. And then there's the Panthers.
We didn't
I mean,
really
Horn's
see
been
much of
missing
Horn,
time.
yeah.
So the Panthers might be reconsidering the
Yeah.
quarterbacks or how they attack the quarterback position. What about the Broncos?
I think they're happy with their choice here.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't
I
think
think that
Fields?
maybe, but they didn't miss on Surtain, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's played well.
I think both the Panthers and Broncos consider quarterbacks. If Zach Wilson, Justin Fields still available, I would take both of them back to back.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And then we mentioned Micah Parsons as someone that could move up. We talked about the opportunity for Mac Jones. Who else am I forgetting here that went a little later? Jalen Phillips has played really well the last few weeks. I'm sure the Dolphins are happy with how they did there, especially with the picks they had in the first round.
Creed
So that's good.
Humphrey, the
Darrisaw,
Chiefs' second
good
rounder.
Yeah, Creed Humphreys had a good year at center. Those are always tough players to find. So
Yeah.
Stokes has played really well for the Packers.
Yeah.
But
Owe has been good for, was that Baltimore?
yeah, he came in. I don't know if you know this, Jared, but he came into the draft process without having a single sack.
Really?
In college, yeah.
Wow.
That was
a first round
definitely
pick.
a worry for a lot of teams. Okay, finishing up before we get to Monday Night Football. Quick, we'll do this very quickly. Who we're drafting in fantasy for next season? I got 2 players to compare at every position. So let's start with quarterback. We got Jalen Hurts, who's the QB6 in points per game this season, and Tom Brady, who's the QB3 in points per game this season.
My choice entirely comes down to if it's 4-point or 6-point for passing touchdown.
Let's say 6.
We're saying
6, I'm going Brady.
Brady. One of these people could legitimately just lose their job.
I don't think Hurts
don't
has
think
been
Hurts
bad enough
loses.
to lose it.
I agree with that.
We said this last week. We talked
Yeah.
about this last week. That there's probably nobody they're drafting anyway.
Sure, but like theoretically, there's a chance he could lose his job. Tom Brady's not losing his job.
I think
There's
the
no-
only way they do is
Could die of old age.
if they see like Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, one of these guys who kind of want out, and they have the draft capital with their first round picks.
That's the only.
Because they have 3 first round picks, so they do have the capital if they want to.
Sure, but you'd know this before you draft. So
yeah. Assuming they're in the same scenarios.
Yeah,
this year,
yeah, exactly.
I guess that's a big assumption, but I'm taking Hurts.
Taking Hurts?
Yeah.
You were off Hurts coming into this year.
I was a hater.
Now you're
no
fully
longer
on.
a hater. Thanks to you, actually.
Nothing could
So I
change your
tipped the
mind
cap.
about Tom Brady, though. That's what I would say.
I'm taking Hurts.
I'll probably go Brady, too, because like you said, 6 point is important.
Yeah.
And then I don't see, maybe they lose Chris Godwin in the offseason, but otherwise there's still going to be plenty of weapons there. You think Gronk sticks around for another year?
I think so.
I think so, too.
As long as Brady's
God, he
there.
looks so fucking... He looks so good out there.
He has the most points per, he has the highest points per game average among tight ends in fantasy
I read
this year.
that on Twitter this morning, I think. Yeah.
Okay, running back. This one's pretty tight this year, and I think this one's a really interesting one. Both players will be back with their teams next year. David Montgomery, who's the running back 20 in points per game this year, and then Antonio Gibson, who's the running back 21 in points per game.
Antonio Gibson by a country mile.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
And this is why. He's been healthy the last few weeks. He's been just, it looks like a different fucking guy out there. I'm taking Antonio Gibson in my sleep in this one. I'm not because I hate the Bears. I don't like Montgomery. I think Montgomery is a great player too. But Antonio Gibson in the last few weeks has shown me what he can do when he's healthy, and we've seen it in previous years. I'm taking Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength here, Sandy, because Gibson was terrible for a few weeks, but it was all because of that shin injury.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Now that he's back to being healthy after that bye, he's had.
Is it all because of that? Is it all because of that? It's
look at how
because
he's been playing.
it's also because they're winning games. That's going to help a running back get more touches, just being in winning game scripts. And then again, I'm not calling out because I thought Gibson was going to have a good year too, but we also talked about this before the season that we thought Gibson was going to have a good year because he would get more opportunities in the passing game, and he really didn't.
Yeah.
McKissick has now been out for the game and a half now, but the receiving game hasn't left McKissick. McKissick was still getting opportunities. Now it remains to be seen if a guy like him or himself is back.
I mean,
but Montgomery is getting
back next year.
the opportunity to just be the guy, nobody spelling him at all.
Gibson has 12. Gibson has 12
Herbert
catches.
Herbert doesn't spell it. He doesn't get on the field.
I thought he
really.
played a little bit. I thought I remember seeing him out there.
Gibson has 12 receptions and a receiving touchdown in the last 2 games. I'm not saying that's like overwhelming.
McKissick out though. McKissick was out the last game and
he
played
missed
half the other
half,
one.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
McKissick didn't leave.
No, third quarter, maybe fourth was
I
it
think it was on the last drive.
when he got hurt?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so a game and a little bit is basically what it was there. I do think I would rather have Montgomery. I'm not going to overthink it. Montgomery gets really good volume in the offense, so I would still go with Montgomery. Definitely close. They're
I just
close
think
this year
Gibson's
too.
a better talent, so that will.
Yeah, I'm riding
Win
Gibson.
out.
No question.
Doesn't always win out, Jared.
It does in the long run.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wide receiver, Jalen Waddle is the wide receiver 9 in points per game, and then Terry McLaurin, wide receiver 20 in points per game. Who would you rather have next year?
Big question here, though. We got, as we said, is like the team situation.
Yeah.
I think Taylor Heineke's back as the starter next year. Like that's a big question. That
I think they draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Does he
But
play?
that affects.
Does a quarterback they draft play? Is it like Matt Corral? Is it Carson Strong? I could see a guy like Carson Strong playing immediately, or Kenny Pickett.
The way Terry McLaurin was talked about coming into the year too was like
I loved him this year.
Yeah.
I think we
and
have
now we're
to-
talking about it now. It feels so different.
I
than
know.
what we were saying. You know.
I think we have to accept that Terry McLaurin is just going to be a mid wide receiver 2 until he gets like a massive improvement at quarterback, just because it's going to be so inconsistent. He's going to have those big games, but it's just not going to be there consistently.
I mean,
So you're
Waddle's.
going Waddle?
I'd go Waddle.
I'm going Waddle too. He's getting so many targets. I mean, if this continues, I know there's obviously likely some regression coming, but he's getting so many targets and so many receptions.
do this in his
that I
rookie
can't-
season,
in the
isn't it?
PPR.
Insane.
Yeah, if it's a PPR format, I mean, Waddle's definitely the guy in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And when do receivers see the biggest jump? What seasons?
2 and 3. 3 is usually like when they finally get up to their peak.
And this is McLaurin's third year, right?
Yeah.
I'll say
Avery just
We were
asked that
just
question.
doing
Like,
that.
I
He
already
knew it.
fucking
He
know what
needed
the
to
answer
confirm.
is.
no. I was thinking through it. I'll take Terry McLaurin.
Really?
Yeah, for no reason.
For no reason.
Just because everyone else
Love
took
that.
Waddle.
Love that.
I like Waddle just volume-wise. Makes him just way more consistent, too, which is really nice. Speaking of Dolphins pass catchers, tight end, last one here. Mike Gesicki, currently the tight end 9 in points per game, and he's tied with Dallas Goedert, who's also the tight end 9 in points per game. Who would you rather have?
Watching Goddard yesterday was a fucking pleasure. I own a lot of Dallas Goddard. And
Yeah. You
Gardner
don't
Minshew, man.
own him. You don't own him. He's
No,
on your team.
He's part.
Yeah,
I rostered
roster
him. That's on me. Apologies. I rostered Dallas Goddard in a lot of leagues. It was like a buffet for him there out there yesterday. Gardner Minshew was feeding him. I also have Gesicki in our redraft league. I would probably lean for next year Mike Gesicki.
I'd go Goddard.
That was great. That was great work there from Sandy.
They're tied for points per game this year.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's very close. I think they'll probably have extremely similar ADPs.
The thing with them is they both have so many, like they have a good or great week, and then it's just a dog shit week. Like it's been like that the whole year for these two, and I think they're so close. This is probably the best one on this list outside of Dave Montgomery and Antonio Gibson, the question you asked, but I'm leaning Gesicki for 2022.
Yeah, I don't know numbers, but like perception-wise, when Tua plays well, Mike Gesicki plays well. So I think if we think Tua's going to take another step next year, if he's their quarterback, I think Mike Gesicki's the play there. If Jalen Hurts is Dallas Goedert's quarterback next year, I feel like I'd go Mike Gesicki.
It's fair.
Yeah, it's interesting because I always talk about Waddle being a great volume, and I always find that Gesicki's the exact same way. It always seems like when, maybe not every time, but when they're playing well, and they have been for the last little while, he's like getting like 9 or 10 targets, like a really high volume. And I was worried about that this year because I thought he was getting all those targets last season just out of desperation because they had injuries and not a lot of skillful players to work with. But Gesicki I was kind of off him this year, but I think there's more volume for Gesicki. Goddard, just with the way the offense is, it'll probably continue next year with Hurts. They won't have a lot of passing volume to work with.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, last
Let's
but
round it
not
out.
least, Monday Night Football. Usually we're very quick with this, but this is a massive game. So
I know.
I
know.
get into some details.
Before we dive into Mac, it's always a pleasure. I know where you're sitting tonight, and I'm sitting right with you. I already launched my plan, so we can dive in. But you got a little
Yeah, I
graph
decided
for
to
us.
make a little
Wow.
chart for
T-Mac,
everybody here.
Bravo. We have to throw that on the screen for
it
the
might have been
viewers
because the chart I made only had an advantage for the Patriots in one category, but
here. Nah, you got to work the
And
numbers.
honestly,
It's all
the
about
most
you working
surprising
the numbers.
category.
No, wait, I got this wrong, actually.
Don't you? Should we not be referencing this?
No, there's one switch to make here. Right. Oh, no, this is all right. This is all correct, Tyler.
Thank
I'm
you.
surprised
job.
that the one stat the Patriots are beating the Bills in is offensive DVOA. You'd think
Yeah,
the Bills
yeah.
have a better offense.
So just to go
Not
through it for
lately,
people
though.
that aren't watching, the Bills are better yards per play, 5.9 yards per play. The Patriots 5.7. A lot of these aren't very significant differences. They're usually just within a few points. The yards per play on defense for the Bills is better. Offensive DVOA is a little bit better for the Patriots. I think they can't run the ball, the Bills. Josh Allen just hasn't been playing at the same type of level. The turnovers have been a problem, right? The turnovers have been a problem. DVOA on defense, the Bills are first, Patriots are second. So is there really who's better there? Technically, it's the Bills, but it's close. Third down on offense, the Bills have been really good, and the Patriots have also been pretty good
solid.
too.
Those are both really solid.
Like 50% on offense for the Bills on third down. That's a very high rate. I can't remember who's first, but I think it's the Chiefs, actually. It is
It's
the
gonna be a
Chiefs.
fucking sick game. Look at these numbers. These are
Third down on defense. The Bills are third in the NFL, 33% conversion rate for opponents on defense or on offense against them. And then the Patriots are pretty close, seventh, 36%. And then, that's what I'm missing. The red zone touchdown rate on defense. That's what's missing on the bottom here. There we go. Red zone touchdown rate on offense. The Bills are 12th at 61%, and the Patriots are kind of struggling in the red zone, 55% touchdown rate, 24th in the NFL. And last but not least, red zone touchdown rate on defense. Both teams are pretty damn good. The Patriots are a little bit better, 48% of opponent drives into the red zone result in touchdowns, and the Bills are 51. So a lot of advantages to the Bills, which I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah.
the line tonight. It's moved. It opened at -3.5. Bills. It's moved to 3.
Yep.
I've even seen it at 2.5 at some places.
Yeah, I got it I bet the Bills. I'm on the Bills. I love the Bills. I think the
too.
Patriots are a square dog. I bet the Bills at minus 100 on -3.
I know the weather's going to be bad, but I'm shocked how low this over-under is.
I like the over.
Yeah, like these are two of the better teams in the league. To have a total this low is wild.
I've heard weather. I've
Wind
heard
affects a ton of
yeah.
points.
It's
Yeah,
over.
rain.
It's like over 10 points. It starts to affect the passing game. I think the winds are projected at like 20 right now.
30.
Is it even higher?
30.
Wind gusts of
So
40.
maybe I would maybe stay away from the total. I'm not huge on the total. Usually I have a teaser for prime time, but I'm just taking the Bills. I bought a half point to 130 at 2.5, so I got Bills -2.5 tonight. Quite a sizable play for me. I really like this. I think people are a little too high on the Patriots for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater. I'm not arrogant. I'm not saying anything about them because I don't like them personally, but I just think the Bills as you said, I mean, you've shown it right here. Like, the Bills are a very, very good football team, and I like them at this number all day long at home. So,
if the other thing on your total side, I said that the Patriots offense is struggling a bit in the red zone. If we're getting those drives, if they're getting drives into the red zone in a day like this where it's really windy and probably tough to move the ball, if they don't turn those into 7 points instead of 3, then that's kind of the difference in this total. But again, like you said, it's very low. I would not be attacking the total.
I'm not attacking. Tell you, I'm staying away tonight. I do think though, isn't White out for the Bills?
I don't think they typically do that, do they?
No, White, like White, Tre'Davious White.
Oh yeah, he's out for the season.
He's out for the season. Yeah, torn ACL.
I'm a little concerned about the Bills' run game. I got to be honest, because the wind's going to make them run the ball more.
All right, we're back. You mentioned the run game for the Bills.
Yes.
I think Josh Allen running the football could be a bet.
What's the rushing prop?
I don't know. I have to find it.
I gotta find it. I'll pull it up. Just keep
I think
talking.
that's interesting because I do think that, like we've said about the wind, there's a good chance that maybe they use Josh Allen a little bit more to run the football because I don't think they'll find success with the guys.
What game was it that they did that? Was it against the Chiefs? It was
where he ran a ton.
Yeah, where he just kept running.
His rushing yards probably 31 and a half.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Who's get a quick 17 on the first drive though?
Yeah, that's true. He breaks 1 or 2, and then we're there.
Especially, but as I said, that's easily my biggest concern is their run game, and the wind obviously plays a role in effect in the pass game. I still love the Bills. I just think 2.5. They're at home. The Bills Mafia is going to be firing. This is the biggest game of the year for them. They're going to be fucking firing.
You talk about 24th the NFL in red zone offense, and then you're doing that in Buffalo. You're playing in Buffalo. That percentage might go down tonight.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fucking great ball game. I lean Bills. Stay away from the total for me, but Bills minus 2.5.
Avery?
I didn't really have a lean, but I'm with the fellas. I ride.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Is this
not
what everybody's thinking?
God damn.
That's not what I said. I don't have a lean. I don't have a.
I know.
I'll take it because the boys are taking it.
I know.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly about this anyway.
I do. I don't know. I woke up today and I'm like, no, it's okay.
It's good. It's good for me not to have a feeling like that.
Yeah.
I want you guys to win, so that's why I'll be on the same side.
I do think there's a lot of people, if you're watching the video, maybe you do see this as a game. The Patriots are just playing so well that they just keep it rolling, and the Bills aren't the team we all thought they were. But I'm riding with the Bills, so I like
just
the Bills.
The way the parity has been in the league this year, perfect for a Bills win right here. Just fuck it all up again.
So much on the line, too. So much on the fucking line. I think this is going to be... They're going to throw all the chips on the table tonight, and I like them.
And then they're going to run it back in 2 weeks, too.
Yeah,
in New England.
Jesus.
This is why this game is so big for
so
the
important.
Bills.
It's a must-win for the Bills, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
But anyways.
All right, that's about it. Wrapped up week 13, week 14 coming. I know I've said this earlier, but we're near the playoffs. This week 14 will be the last week of the regular season. I think what we'll do for weeks 15, 16, and then maybe 17 as well is if you got playoff lineups, maybe we'll do a video setting some people's lineups, saying what we would do for the week. But otherwise, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like down on the video if you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.